6 minutes after 11. What am I saying? 6 minutes after 11 o'clock. When I was a kid, growing up on Long Island, I had a friend who was really into Greenwich Village. And so we would go down there sometimes to the record shops, and it was really... it was really messy. Not the village, but the record shops.
Okay.
And I remember going in there, but it was messy and unbelievably wonderful, because you would find records in there that you wouldn't find in the normal record shops, and that's why we would go there. He was a big fan of some of those wild and crazy things, and I'm sure you remember the whole effect of Andy Warhol and Leonard Cohen and Joni Mitchell and Bob Dylan and all the names that I'm dropping names now on purpose so that you can kind of get the sense. Although this story takes place about 20 years, maybe 15 years later than the years I was down there. Jarett Kobek is on the phone. It says here he is a Turkish-American writer with a best-selling book. He does have a best-selling book. It's called The Future Won't Be Long, and it does take place in the East Village, which is a little bit different, a little bit to the east of where I would probably have gone to. A provocative, ecstatic story of friendship, sex, art, and ambition in the twilight days of New York City's East Village from 1986 to 1996. And by the way, I just downloaded the audio version of the book, Robin.
Oh, nice.
So I will be listening to it in my car.
Awesome.
Jarett Kobek, good morning, sir. Thank you for being on the air with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Where are you right now?
I am in Midtown New York. I'm about a block away from Trump Tower.
Wow.
Oh, no. Anything you need to tell us about that?
Fell asleep to the chants.
Oh, no. I hope that's not... I wonder if that's going to... Robin is leaving for New York tomorrow. She'll be up there.
Yeah.
You want to hang out, get a tuna fish sandwich or something?
We can go protest together.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we had that in our news. Protesters are going to be rampant.
So did you live this? Is this part your story?
I lived in the East Village, yeah, and some of it's autobiographical, but I moved here actually more or less right at the time when the book ends, which is 1996, and so I was here to sort of watch everything fall apart.
Do you know, I had a story, I told it in the intro, of I grew up on Long Island, so I can't say I was in the village as a resident, but I was there a lot. And when I went back last October with my son, and I wanted to show him. He wanted to go to Radio City Musical, and we did. But then I said, I got to show you some areas that I used to hang out. And we went down there, and it seemed cleaner to me than in the 70s. But it also seemed a little more... I don't know, less artsy. I don't know if that's fair. I hope I'm not hurting anybody's feelings, but it just seemed that way to me. Maybe I'm too old now. I don't know.
I think that's right. It's really changed. It's cleaner. It's less dangerous. And the barrier to entry is much higher because it's so expensive in a way that it just
really
doesn't.
See.
Yeah.
It never seemed dangerous to me. It did seem. Not dangerous, but it seemed like you had to be cautious. Although maybe dangerous and cautious is the same thing. I don't know, but so you wrote the story. Now the guy in the story is from Wisconsin. Robin's from Wisconsin.
That's right.
So we got
Packers.
Yeah, there's a couple of reasons for me personally to want to read this book.
You are really an excellent writer. This book makes me want to read the one previous to this, I Hate the Internet. I didn't realize it was a continuation for some of the characters in that story, and you've really done such a great job with this one.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much.
So give us a thumbnail sketch of the story in The Future Won't Be Long. I'll be listening to the audiobook this weekend, by the way.
Yeah, I haven't heard it, so I don't know what it's like.
But you wrote it.
I heard it. Yeah, I did write it. But I haven't heard it recite yet. Yeah, it's a book about a guy who moves to New York from Wisconsin in 1986, and then he meets a woman, and they're both about 19, and they just sort of become friends, and their friendship grows through time over the course of 11 years, and it's all set against a really dense historical backdrop of all of these wonderful New York City freaks. And, mostly the stories about their friendship, but tons of weird historical stuff just keeps popping up.
Do we root for them? Do we root for their relationship?
Yeah, yeah. They, they come together, they fall apart, they come back again, and they make each other better as time goes on.
And to be an author, a successful author, you have to know how to write from different points of view. Like you write from a woman's point of view, you write from a gay perspective, and that is that's a huge undertaking in itself.
Yeah, well, the thing I want to write about the least is my own perspective, to be honest, because I find myself incredibly boring. And so, yeah, and I mean, I think, it's interesting to get into other people's minds and see how the world works from that perspective.
Have you ever changed your point of view while writing as a different character on any issues?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, I think I learned a lot doing this book. I learned a lot about just how people interact with the world and have thought more about things. And
in the political landscape, part of which you kind of hinted at the beginning, it is interesting to listen to other people who you disagree with and try to hear them with respect and say, well, I know you're an intelligent person. Let me see if I can understand where you're coming from. So, and Robin's question kind of is this same question. I'm just kind of asking it again, I guess. So the characters, when you, in real life, if I'm talking to somebody who I disagree with, but yet I respect their intelligence and I'm questioning my own opinion sometimes, does that happen as, am I asking the same question, Robin? It sounds like I'm asking the same one you just asked. But is it hard, I guess, to create a character who disagrees with you, but yet who you respect?
No,
No,
not for me. I mean, I think everyone should have to talk to people they disagree with constantly. I think we would be in a much better world if there were a way to have some kind of respectful dialogue with people you don't disagree with, or you don't agree with, rather.
Do you know, that's...
And I think
I think that's what made the Village the Village. I think,
right, exactly.
I think the artists, the songwriters of those early days that were really preceded me even, but I think those men and women were saying things that the what do they call it? Not protocol. What's that word they always use? Anyway, that the current people, the people in power, whatever, they were saying things differently than that culture was saying. But they said it in such a profound and professional and unique way that you couldn't not pay attention to it.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree completely. The world has changed.
And you do go through the different cultures. You go through the era of Andy Warhol. You go through the different riots that were happening, the rise of the different clubs and things like that. And each one of those are entities in itself, and they all affect the other.
Yeah, I mean, I think the word "the village" is exactly the right word, because it's like a village of different people who all would see each other constantly, and then have to learn how to interact.
Why won't the future be long? The title, "The Future Won't Be Long." Why is that?
Well, I think the characters are kind of haunted by a future that they can't even imagine, right? Like, there are these arty people in New York who think they're the future because they're in the art world, they're in the literary world, but none of them are even good with computers. None of them can even imagine the world that's coming. And
right. It was late for us to watch this, but we watched the movie Rent based on the play, and the future for those characters wasn't long. It was because of disease. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it's.
Jarett, thank you for being on the air. You have written the newest book that I downloaded, and I don't download that many of them, just so you know. Thank you for being on the air with us today. I kind of wish I had listened to it first. And then had you on. But I just I got turned onto it just this morning when I was looking through the book to prepare for this interview, and I realized it was one I wanted
thanks for having
to absorb. Let's see, I found it on Amazon. How else do we get the book?
It's in bookstores everywhere. Viking has a long arm, so you can find it pretty much everywhere.
Okay, nice. Viking has a long arm. That's a new title for you. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Jarett. Thank you for being on the show with us today. We'll be right back.
Thanks for having me.
If you or a loved one is suffering with knee, shoulder, neck, back pain, or tennis elbow and would like to learn how to get out of pain, go to Regenetic.com. Then listen in on the first and third Thursday at 10 a.m. to the people that give you the regenerative medical solutions to your pain. Regenetic. First and third Thursdays, 10 a.m. here on WOCA 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. The Source. Regenetic.com.
Did you call Mike Scott Plumbing about the irrigation?
No, but did you know a crocodile can't stick its tongue out? Or that Humpty Dumpty rhyme never actually says he's an egg? Or that Chuck Norris counted to infinity? Twice.
Where the hell do you come up with these facts? And what's that have to do with the lawn?
Nothing really, just hoping you'd forget what you told me to do.
Well, here's a fact. Just like an elephant, I never forget. And here's another fun fact for you. If my plants die because you didn't call Mike Scott Plumbing to come over and install an irrigation system, you're going to be the one out there all night with a hose.
Well, as a matter of fact, I think I'll call Mike Scott Plumbing right now.
Now that's a fact.
237-2888.
Yes, 237-2888. Because if...
I know. If water runs through it, they do it. Did you know honeybees have 5 eyes?
Oh, brother, you're going to do this all night now, aren't you?
Or that a strawberry is not actually a berry, but a banana is? Or that Chuck Norris killed 2 stones with 1 bird? Or that polar bears are left-handed?
Tired of looking at stained carpets, dirty tile, or grout? Call Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. Make your flooring look great again. Stains, pet odors, allergies. Call Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. From serving our country to serving our community. Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. Residential and commercial. And now, 3 rooms for just $99. Check their website, silverbackrestoration.com.
This is James Snyder, inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM.
Here is your 30-second news brief. An 84-year-old man has died in a 2-vehicle accident on East State Road 40. A Confederate statue has been moved from downtown Gainesville. A stretch of highway in Orlando was renamed yesterday the Lieutenant Deborah Clayton Memorial Highway in honor of the officer killed by a gunman in January. Yesterday would have been her 43rd birthday. And Marion County Public Schools is canceling all outdoor activities Monday afternoon for safety reasons related to the solar eclipse. And that is your news brief from The Source.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Tuesday, partly sunny with a thunderstorm in parts of the area, the high between 90 and 94. Then for Tuesday night, partly cloudy, though 74 to 78. Wednesday, intervals of clouds and sun. It'll be a very warm and humid day with a shower or thunderstorm around, mainly during the afternoon hours over the interior, high 90 to 94. Thursday, clouds and some sun with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, high 89 to 93. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Howdy folks, RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequal. So personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
I'm Jan Marino from Palm Garden of Ocala, and I'd like to tell you about the Palm Garden Way. We promote individual care, of course, but we also encourage GEMS. That's going the extra mile, and these are thoughtful individual gifts that make each guest stay special. A gem could be a daily latte or a new book or something else that means a lot to our guest. To find out more about the Palm Garden Way, take a tour, located on the corner of 27th Avenue and 34th Street in Ocala.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.